following moments may contain explicit language.
It starts with a quarter, a phenomenon that had to happen when the TV set married the computer.
We're in the arcades.
An old favorite is back.
We've played every game until we're bored of it.
In arcades across America, pinball is bouncing back.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 17 of Modern Man in Search of High Scores. This is Lawrence Adams alongside Dean Robley, and we are here today with a tale so grand, an adventure so epic, that it indeed can only be classified as modern men in search of high scores. How's it going, Dean?
How's it, dude? I'm doing well, man.
It's been a thing today.
Yeah, but that's, we're here for it. Yeah, I love it, dude. We're here in search of high scores, and,
Sometimes just in search of quarters.
Yeah, holy smokes, dude. Yeah. But, man, that's going to be a funny story. I can't wait for you guys to hear that one. Yeah, we're going to get into it
in just a little bit, folks, because today on the program, we're going to cover, start to finish, soup to nuts, our adventures to the Winchester Mystery House and our quest to play one of the most surprising and beautiful games of 2026. Did we make it? Did we make it out? Is the game as sick as everybody says? How in the world are you supposed to collect all of those keys on a coin drop machine? You're bringing your ears, and we're bringing the answers. But first, it's arcade and pinball news. So, Arcade 1-Up, after being purchased by Basic Fun, has basically just fully merged at this point, and they've revealed their 2026 lineup.
Made exactly as it was before the war.
And after so many years at this point of nothing interesting at all happening in the home arcade space, we finally have something to talk about. The games featured in the reveal are Golden Tee, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Centipede, WWF WrestleFest, Return of the Jedi, Galaga, and actually Sonic the Hedgehog. And now, folks, all of these are in the XL form factor. I gotta say, some of them have me wanting to buy them. Centipede alone, I've been wanting to get a Centipede forever, and I just gotta see how the control scheme lays out. But I gotta say, they look beautiful compared to what we've been getting from Arcade 1-Up for the past couple of years, which was just weirder renditions of what they'd already released.
Fine woods and modern plastics.
And yeah, all these look pretty damn good. And at the very least, folks, if they're not your cup of tea, at least they're starting over again, and we're going to be getting new titles each and every year, hopefully.
Yeah, that's sick. So Golden Tee, that's like the golf game, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I played golf when I was younger, and I swear,
I did too.
I think these, oh, yeah, dude, yeah, Los Gatos High, dude. So they had it over at 007. And dude, sometimes I'd walk in there and I'd see like 5-6 dudes just like in the corner all night long.
It's a great board game.
Yeah, and they'd be heated. I'd look over, I'd be like, you see a couple bucks like on the table, like they were playing for some money. And it always looks like a fun game. I never actually stepped up to it though, so that's interesting. So this is like a home version through the Arcade 1-Up.
It's like the ones I have around here.
Yeah.
Closer in size to, I would say, like the Time Crisis and the Street Fighter 2.
Okay, cool.
Maybe even bigger than that actually, because these all have 17-inch monitors. The ones that they're coming out with now have 19-inch monitors.
Okay.
And
because the one there is like
they're huge.
Screen TV. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's which is hard for the home consumer, right?
Yeah, the footprint's got to be smaller. Although I will say, like, one of the things that's really cool is their WrestleFest cab that they're coming out with. It has a footprint closer to these, but slightly bigger. But the arcade, the control deck actually looks like you could comfortably fit 4 real adults at it. Whereas these games here, like Simpsons, X-Men, NBA Jam, 3 adults fits, but the fourth person never really gets there.
We used to have an NBA Jam at a Revelry Supply, down there in Watsonville. And dude, you get the 4 of us on there, we're getting
Boom shakalaka!
We're kind of bumping shoulders. We're
NBA
like,
Jam is so fun. But yeah, even on the production versions, you're still pretty close in there. But
just calling foul, you're actually just pushing the guy over.
Exactly. But I will say, the other thing that's cool is the Sonic the Hedgehog cab. I know a lot of people online, haters going to hate, but people are kind of shitting all over it because it never really was an arcade release. However, folks, it's the classic Sega, the first 3, I believe, Sonic games, 1, 2, and 3, in an arcade cabinet. I mean, if you're into Sonic or you're just into home arcade stuff, who doesn't really want this? I think it's pretty darn cool. Right. Now, am I going to get it? No. But if you were like seriously a Sonic fan or even just a Sega fan, they did a good job. It looks gorgeous.
I think it's going to look next to a Sonic pinball machine once
That's what I was
once
thinking.
Stern drops that.
Yeah. Or the rumor is it's going to be Jersey Jack this year.
Oh, Jersey Jack.
It's the next Steve Ritchie, supposedly.
Whoa.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog. So we'll have to see.
I'm here
that
for
would be
it.
a reason to buy it. If
I
you're
used to
gonna get
love
that.
Sonic as a kid, dude. I had a
who didn't?
Sega.
Yeah.
You know, it was like more for me. It was like Mortal Kombat was on Sega. I
Yep.
had hockey, NHL, and then Sonic, dude.
Sonic was the best.
Just like Knuckles and Tails flying around everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
Sonic 2 was a fantastic game. Sonic 3 is also a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm just glad they're adding new stuff into the market, and the stuff that they're adding doesn't look like shit. I think it's pretty cool. Also, like I said, Centipede. I've wanted an actual Centipede or at least something approaching that for a long time. It would be really nice to have a Centipede cabinet out here that is closer in size to the original than some of these smaller ones, and also has multiple games on it.
Yeah.
For the footprint, having some of those old '80s Atari's games, that would be pretty darn dope. I just got to see what the control scheme ends up being and if it's usable or not.
And then like, what is it? Spooky making a human centipede.
Right. Spooky
So
should do
you're
Human
coming here.
Centipede.
You're coming here for all the false news.
That would be great. Spooky,
we're,
listen to
we're
this. Human
peppering it in.
Centipede.
It's on you guys to discern. Human centipede pinball would be so heavy.
Another bit of home arcade news is that the Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha cabinets by Iconic Arcade and Media One Up have finally shipped to the U.S. and I hear people should be receiving them pretty much any day now if they haven't already started arriving. That's definitely one that I'm going to be buying. I want the Alpha cabinet since they showed it. I've just been waiting to see if the product was actually going to come to not only be a reality but also be something of quality. But so people who have been waiting for those are going to be pretty happy by the time they'll show up because they look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. What denotes an alpha? Is it
Street
like-
Fighter Alpha?
Yeah.
So Street Fighter Alpha was after Street Fighter 2, but before Street Fighter 3.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um,
so what's turbo?
So you have the weird thing with Street Fighter is just how many versions of 2 there are, and
Oh,
also
got you,
how many
got
versions
you.
of 3 and Alpha there are as well. But
Got
2
you.
is what started it off. So you have Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, which is the original Street
Yeah,
Fighter
where you're
2.
going states or country to country and
Right.
battling. Yeah,
And
that's
then you
sick.
have the updated version of that, which is Champion Edition, which was considered to be the most like balanced version of the game.
Okay.
Then you had, in a response to people hacking the ROMs and making things speed up, you have Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which literally just adds a couple of moves and speeds things up, and it's a really fun game.
Okay, cool.
But then you have Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo,
Yeah.
which are basically they're Street Fighter 3, but they didn't want to call it that because they didn't add that much to it. But they're
Yeah.
complete graphic overhauls, a bunch of new characters, and played a lot faster. In my opinion, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is the crown jewel in the number 2 series.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that I have that on my one here. But the thing is, I love playing Third Strike a lot, and I love playing Alpha a lot. So I've been wanting to, that the ones coming out from Iconic Arcade are basically full-size cabs. So I really am looking forward to getting one of those over here and having some fun playing
Yeah.
it.
Well, have you seen? I don't know. I'm trying to look up what that game was, but there was some new game that was being created where it's like almost more chess-like, but it's a fighting game where you implement your moves before it even happens, and
No.
then the game plays out
That
according
sounds
to
very interesting, though.
according to all of the things. It was like the craziest thing. I think it was my homie. I'll see if I can find it. We'll put it in the show notes or something. But
Yeah, we can find it. I'd be interested because that sounds strategic.
Yeah. It was way more like you input like your moves, and then you have a chain of moves, and like you can only play like 3 at a time, but then that like plays out the moves that you input against your opponent, and like each character that you choose has different specialties and works well against other guys. So
That would
I'll-
be interesting.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it, and
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can check that out.
I'll send it over to your zone, dude. It's pretty sick. I love it. Like, guys are like stepping into that realm and adding weird new ways of controlling and like creating games that are
there's been so
interesting.
little new in the fight game space for so
Yeah.
long. Something like that could be really interesting. Definitely want to check that out because that's we'll get back to you folks. We'll get back to you.
We'll bring it back.
On to pinball news. It's Pokemon, everybody.
I wanna be the very best. Like no one.
Yeah,
Pokemon
let's go,
has
popping
arrived.
Bubbles.
You gotta catch them all. You gotta buy them all. I am pretty amped for this game, I have to say. The thing about Pokemon is I was never like super into the cartoon. It was playing on TV, after school when I was basically in late high school. So not something that I was super into. The card game I never really got into it, except I did play it with my kids when they were younger because I wanted to introduce them to Magic and to Netrunner, and I figured it was a good kind of trainer for that, and it worked out pretty well because they got really into the other games as well later on. But the Pokemon Game Boy game was a staple at my high school. Pretty much everybody played it, and it was just a really fun game. And so my question was going to be like, did they implement that really well into the Pokemon by Stern? And I think that they have. I just looking at the videos. I mean, again, I haven't put my hands on it, so I can't tell you about gameplay. And I'll bring up in a minute here what I think about what the gameplay looks like. But again, just being able to like, you have 180 Pokemon. You got the original cast, and by exploring this world under glass that they've created, you can discover and battle and potentially capture and collect all those Pokemon and inside are connected. Dude,
It's
what do you want? What do you want out of a Pokemon pinball game? That's it. That's everything. Thank you and good night.
Yeah. And I think that's like the coolest thing ever. And, I was an idea that I kind of had a while back where it'd be really cool with Insider Connected where you could actually like battle against other guys online.
Yeah, I'm curious if there is anything like that.
Yeah, that was what we used to talk about with like the Nintendo thing where you could actually like battle other people, right?
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if there is any element to that or if there's any way to like put up your Pokemon against other players, and like potentially lose them or something like that, because that type of stuff was really cool in the Game Boy game as well. The other thing that I will say I like about, so moving on to more like the layout and artwork, which I think, again, the artwork looks fantastic. They did a really good homage to what the cartoon art is supposed to be.
Yeah, they got the big old cat in the middle.
Right.
The hot air balloon.
Air balloon. Yeah, the hot air balloon. That's so rad.
Was Team Rocket just blowing up all the time?
It's time for trouble, man. Make it double. The Team Rocket thing looks great. I think also just the fact that they stole everything from Junkyard with that, like, you got all the stand-up targets around there. You've got the what in Junkyard would have been the extra ball on the crane that comes down that you hit. And this time though, it's the Meowth balloon. And then you've got that shot up the middle where it goes back for the multi-ball start in Junkyard. And in this, I think it also is a multi-ball start. I want to say, I think that is one of the most, maybe the only satisfying shot straight up the middle in a pinball game ever. Because it goes right up the playfield. It goes behind the stand-up targets and disappears. But it feels like, you want to talk about kinetic satisfaction. You get like just that disappearing behind there and feeling that kind of ka-chunk of wherever the ball goes.
Yeah.
And then starting a multi-ball it's a fantastic feeling.
Yeah.
So I think that was really wise for them to do that. My one concern, folks, and I will say this, I think the code is obviously going to be deep enough for home gameplay. I think it's built for you to spend, probably a year to 3 years playing this thing,
collecting all your Pokemon.
Everything.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, right? Yeah, you got to make it easy enough to continue to go out and find all of them.
Right, exactly. And it looks like they did a really cool mechanic with all that stuff where you actually
Yeah.
have to use the Pokedex to scan whatever you found.
Yeah.
And then, so all that, I can't wait to explore all that stuff. But the layout itself does look fairly forgiving. And I do worry, from my own personal perspective, that if it's too easy, I'm going to lose interest in it a little bit quickly because,
unless the shots are that fun. If the shots are that fun, you get like, I'll hit that shot all day.
That's true. That's true. And again.
But repetitiveness in games can be something, it's like we're limited in space. We have a limited square centimeters that we're dealing with here.
And there is something to be said for not having every game in your collection be a brute, right? Like, I would say the easiest game in my collection right now is Dr. No, and I don't think it's a very easy game by far. I think it's still a pretty challenging setup.
Yeah, you got to have a feel-good situation.
So it's nice to have one that you're like, okay, I can kind of switch my brain off and just go collect some Pokemon.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while on the podcast here, folks, as you all know, that I think Jaws is probably going to be, coming back because I've been wanting to get Jaws Premium in here for a long time. But if I can get my hands on a Pokemon before April and play it, and I decide I like it, I think Pokemon might jump the queue and be coming to the Midlife Arcade here because I'm more in love with this pin than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah,
and I'm really looking forward to playing it.
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
but dude, you saying that right now, just having like a little easy, like again, it makes you feel good. I just had a flashback of being a little kid, like going over to like my mom's boyfriend's house or something, and just like sitting down and playing like, I don't even remember what it's called, dude. It was like Pokemon photographing. It was
Pokemon Snap.
Snap. Was it? I don't even. Is that even? Is there anything to even do in that game?
No, you literally wander around and take pictures.
Yeah, I was like, that was the most stony game.
It was literally the most stony
game. Talk
ever.
about feel good, dude. There's nothing even. You just cruise and snap photos, bro.
It was pretty dope. I was just
thinking about that. I was like, wait, that was another version of Pokemon where you don't do anything. You just go around and take photos, like a little documentary or like a ecologist or something.
Yeah, you're like an anthropologist or whatever, just taking pictures of stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's just, dude, that's so stony. You just kick back.
Oh, there was nothing to do, nothing to battle, there were no consequences because all you're doing is taking photos. Like,
That's so
it.
funny, dude. Bro. It's good to have something like that in the mix.
It was pretty good. Only last little piece of news here. Obviously, we'll get into Pokemon more in depth when we both have had a chance to play it. Hopefully, some of you long-term listeners have noticed that we sound a whole lot better these days. And I didn't want to say it the first time because it was the first time using the equipment, but we've upgraded everything here, and we're very pleased to say that because, I listen to all of our podcasts after we record them to make sure they sound good. I spend a lot of time and money trying to massage our old rig setup into sounding half decent, and it was always painful. So having the right equipment.
Everyone give Larry a round of applause.
It's just nice to have, man. It makes my heart happy.
Absolutely. Thanks to all of our sponsors out there. We're waiting for Stern to send us a Pokemon, but we'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's probably in my spam folders.
Probably. I should check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're big fans of the podcast.
And that's the way the news goes.
Moving on to today's top story. So, Dean and I went... There's several versions of this story. Dean and I
this
went...
has been a long time coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about this actually for a couple of podcasts even.
Yeah.
It's made it onto the show a couple of times about how we were going to go.
We're both Californian.
We're both, and we're right down the street, basically. We're 40 minutes away from the Winchester Mystery House.
Yep.
And on the weekend, there's actually no traffic. And today was the day. We finally decided to nut up or shut up and head on up to the Winchester Mystery House. And
just a beautiful piece of, classic Americana. This is a history piece. What was it was funny, we were walking past, I can't remember the number off the top, but it was like, this is National Historic Structure number 800. And I was like, whoa, it was like 878 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it was,
868.
Yeah.
It was like number 868. And I was like, because it's 686, it's a shout out 686 Snowboard Company.
Sure.
But I was like, that was a quick way to remember it. I was like, dude, this is a historic site. This is cool. This is a big piece of classic Americana, but California history, which doesn't go back super far, but
far enough.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it
is really, really cool.
So we've been wanting to do this.
So I picked Dean up, and actually that was the first moment that I realized there might be a problem, because I was thinking to myself right when I got onto the exit to pick him up, I'm like, you know what? I just moved. I just started a new job. So as any of you who have done that can sympathize. I'm living off of my credit card until the paychecks start coming in. And I realized, I'm like, this is just the Winchester Mystery House. No one there is routed arcade or pinball machines ever. They're not going to know. They're not going to have this set up in a way where they've thought it out so it's easy for the player to play, right? So I was like, man, I don't have any cash on me.
Yeah,
so
and he's coming to pick me up. So and I'm running a free play arcade here, so I don't have any money.
So I brought it up, but Dean was like, no, look, I got you. We got some cash. We're good to go. I'm like, okay, great. So first things first, we get there, and everything is going hunky-dory because we actually get a parking space right in front of the place, which is unheard of in San Jose. If you guys are from San Jose or ever been there, you'll know parking is not easy to come by.
The Winchester Mystery House is a haunted situation.
It is.
So that's there's all kinds of cool stuff going on.
I mean, in many ways, it was like the ghosts were inviting us in.
Yeah, get in here.
Just to screw with us later. But so we get the parking space. We're going on in, and the first thing we notice is that, of course, it's coin drop only. And so we need an ATM and a change machine. And in 2026, California, cash just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
We tried the people at the front desk, and they were like, no, but if there is an ATM machine, it is working. It's in the back corner over there. We went to the back corner. There was no ATM. There was a change machine. However, it had an out-of-order sign on it.
Oh, yeah.
So there was no way once we got the cash we were going to get changed. So we set off on our way down the road to try and stop anywhere we could see that might be able to break a 20. And first off, give us a 20 and then break it into quarters.
Yeah,
so
cue Zelda adventure music.
Exactly. So we're going down the street. We're looking at our maps on our phone. We're trying to figure out what's a place that might actually have it. And we see, ATM's over in the far right, far left of where we're headed. There's a 7-Eleven or two in between.
Yeah, we're looking at miles here.
Right. Then we spy a couple of food trucks, and we're thinking, oh man, if anyone's going to have some cash to be able to help us out, it'd be food trucks. We go up to them, and of course they're like, no, we just use the phone tap thing. We don't have any change. We can't give it to you. Okay, strike out there. But that was a curveball anyway, and I didn't really expect much from it. So off we go, and then we see Chipotle. And the Chipotle in downtown Santa Cruz here actually does have an ATM, so I was kind of hopeful that maybe this one would have an ATM. We go in, no ATM, But we were a bit peckish at that point, so we decided to grab some lunch. So we
you
got our
gotta
lunch.
Fuel up on an adventure. I mean,
exactly.
Adventure time, dude.
We needed some fuel.
Yeah.
Don't go out there alone. Take this plate of tacos from Chipotle. And so we get to the end and we're asking the lady, and at this point I've realized, you know what, I'm gonna have to start I'm gonna have to play up the heartbreak angle. And just explain this to people. And so I told the gal at the counter, I'm like, hey, we're just a couple of pinheads from Santa Cruz. We came all this way. All we need is some change to go play some pinballs. Or anyway, even just ring us up even a couple of extra bucks and give us some coins. Like we between you and me, we could have made $2 last at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but of course, no, that's not going to happen.
It's gnarly nowadays because the AI just scans all the transactions and it's like, whoa, flag.
Yeah.
This lady didn't charge something right.
The gal actually said there was a camera behind her that watched everything she was doing. Dude. And I was like, oh man, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
So we eat our lunch and we're like, okay, we gotta figure this shit out. So we're going to the edge. We're going to the edge of the intersection there, and there's a Best Buy there, and we're thinking, okay, Best Buy at least usually is a complex. Again, I know the one on 41st Avenue here has an ATM machine, so we go in there.
Santa Cruz has a lot of cash kind of stuff going on,
and it looks like someone had robbed this Best Buy, ladies and gentlemen.
That was
they were
sick.
going at a business sale.
Yeah.
A 2-story Best Buy with almost nothing on the shelves.
Dude, I told him, I was like, I'll pull up my truck right now. What are we loading out?
Right, exactly. We were asking
Everything
them,
must go.
They had nothing for us. And at that point, we were just close enough to a bank. So we walked the extra 3/4 of a mile probably over to the bank. And we get Dean gets some cash out. And we're thinking, okay, we're halfway there.
Yeah, dude.
Halfway to getting this done. And we noticed...
Narrative arc proper.
We're starting. We noticed that there's a couple of 7-Elevens up the street, and I'm thinking, no matter what, 7-Eleven will have some change, right?
Yeah.
Even if we have to make some deal with the devil, we're gonna get some change out of a 7-Eleven.
Classic Sevo, dude.
So we're headed there, and then we noticed that the Westfield Mall has an arcade and bowling alley.
Yeah, that was sick, right? We're just like, it just fit on the side, arcade.
Right.
Like, oh, what? Like, of course, that's a sign. We should go in there.
Absolutely, and especially if you're a '90s kid and you see a sign that says arcade, like, what's your brain thinking, right? You're thinking arcade cabinets, you're thinking change machines, you're thinking skee ball, you're thinking all the good stuff that we used to have. And anyways, we make our way in, through which was not an inconsiderable path to choose. Because we had to go through the parking lot, we had to go through JCPenney's, we had to find our way through this huge,
talk to the foreign lady working at the spot.
Right.
Who was like from Eastern Europe, and she's just like...
She didn't know her way around.
Yeah.
She was lost in the
She
mall.
helped a bit.
And so we finally find the damn place, and I gotta say, it was pretty hopping. I was happy to see a busy arcade, but it was nothing but redemption machines.
Yeah.
Nothing, but there was some raw thrill stuff there, which is always nice to see.
There was a really cute peanut butter and jelly sandwich stuffed animal, though, in that claw machine. Yeah. It was like it was a claw machine almost like the size of like half this garage.
Seriously.
It was like, whoa.
It was gigantic. It was an attraction unto itself.
Yeah, right. That's pretty funny.
And so we're looking for the coin machine, and we realize kind of all at once that this is a card pay place. So, what you go and you put money into it and you get a card, and then there's no cash transactions whatsoever. So at this point, we literally had to try 3 other places in the arcade. We tried the food stand, no go. The bar, no go. And then the front desk, and we got a very lovely lady who was saying that the manager probably would help us out, but she had to call for him. So standing there, dicks in hands, waiting for the manager, and he showed up, and the man was actually very nice and very gracious to turn our $20 bill into 2 stacks of $10 worth of quarters.
He was a legend, and it's funny because the lady was like, "Oh, he's really nice. I didn't want to say I could guarantee that he'll help you guys, but like." He crews up. He's like, "What you guys need to do?" It's like, "Dude, I got $20." And he's like, "You want quarters?" Dude, legend.
Yeah.
What was it? Josh or something. It was like JK on his badge.
Yeah. So all that to say,
super chiller.
If you
Shout
ever
out
need
to that
quarters, if you ever need quarters in San Jose, head to the arcade and
yeah,
ask
Bolero.
For,
it was the Bolero bowling alley.
Bolero bowling alley, and ask for Mr. JK, the manager there, and he'll hook you up with the quarters.
Tell him Midlife Arcade sent you.
Absolutely. But so then we are thrilled. We're fist bumping. We're practically skipping
stacks of quarters.
We were so happy. It was like getting a stack of quarters.
How satiating is a stack of quarters?
Like when you're 10 and going to a 90s arcade. We were that happy.
Yeah.
So then we have the half-mile walk back to the Winchester.
Dude, wind in our sails.
And we made it in good time. And we get back
it wasn't raining. The rain was holding off just perfectly.
Holding off, so we could get there without being drenched.
Yeah.
We get there. We go in. And we head right over to the machine, and I pull out $2 in quarters because I'm about to put a 2-player game on this son of a bitch. And I go to put the quarters in, and it was jammed. It was 100% jammed, and
holy smokes, dude, that was crazy.
This was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, like between you and I, we can fix this damn.
We
jam.
do this. This is what we do.
So I was trying the different tools I have on my keychain.
Dude, that keychain was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that thing's helpful.
That was crazy because I mean, whatever it got a bunch of them out.
Yeah,
a bunch fell, but then all of a sudden, like I look in there, there's like 4 like stacked all weird and sideways.
They were stuck, and some kid probably put 10 cents in or Canadian quarter or something that was not supposed to be in there.
A classic loony,
right?
Maybe it was a toonie.
Someone put something in there wasn't supposed to be. And we'll get later to the idea that this thing just had 1 coin slot, but it had only the 1 coin slot, and now it's jammed. So we're thinking, okay, all we really need is the key to the damn front panel. We'll get someone to clear it. We'll be fine. We go over and speak to the gentleman behind the front desk, and we're informed that no, the person who routes the pins. Which I was actually surprised to find out there was somebody.
Yeah, right. I thought it was just like, here, you guys, this is your game.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be theirs.
I did too.
Yeah.
But that person is not on campus today, and they have the key. And so I was like, well, at the very least, can you tell them that this is down? Because other people are going to be wanting to play this thing.
This thing's beautiful,
it's
right?
It's 1 of 500.
Yeah.
We ourselves went on a pilgrimage to find it.
Yeah.
There's bound to be others.
Yeah, it was fun, though, like walking right in and then seeing like the heads turning and looking at it because it's like just so, it's stunning.
Yeah. It draws people in. There were people that probably have never thought about a pinball machine in their lives were stopping to stare at this thing.
Yeah, let alone those little kids who'd never heard of a quarter. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, seriously. But the other thing that was interesting to us both was that not only did they have this, but on the other side sort of the staircase there where the Winchester Mystery House pin was a theater of magic.
Dude.
And I don't own theater of magic. You don't have one at the portal.
No.
And so we were both thinking, well, at least we're going to get some fun out of this. But there were some people playing on it.
Yeah.
And so we were waiting a second. We went and got Dean a coffee. We circled back around. And they had all cleared out. And we walk up. I put $2 in. Go to push start. Nothing happens. And it's because there was a stuck ball on the playfield.
Bad.
It was a bad one too.
Bad
it was
stuck.
between some plastics and wire form.
Because I was like, I'm down to pick this thing up and give it a little, whatever.
I even tried it. I lifted it from the side,
dude,
but the ball just wasn't going to budge.
I think you had to literally kick that thing upside down to drop that ball out. I was tripping. I was like, that thing is gnarly stuff.
Other than taking the glass off and getting it out the right way, there was no other way.
Yeah, and I would never do that to anyone else's game. I don't ever.
100%.
Yeah, right. Don't 100%. Do that to someone else's game, please. Just
so
get a hold of them.
After all that, after what essentially probably about 4 hours of time.
I'm
trying to play this damn game.
This is a solid workout.
We return to you now, having played absolutely no pinball in San Jose.
Yeah.
It was very much a bummer, but a good story to tell. And at the very least, we can give you some of our impressions on the game.
Yeah. I'm going to open up the photos. I took some amazing photos. I will say, at least, being close enough to lick the damn thing. I didn't do that, by the way. I thought about it. It was that tasty looking. But my God, dude, that thing is so photogenic. And I mean, I guess I don't even want to say photogenic. I want to say it looks so good in person because I think some of the videos I watched early on, it didn't look as sick as it does in person.
Well, the color scheme and the lighting, it's always hard to take pictures of anything.
Yeah, it's
lighting.
hard.
Pinball machines are very notoriously difficult to take good pictures of. But the thing just grabs your eye immediately when you see it. It just doesn't look like any pinball machine we've seen made in the past probably 30 to 40 years.
Yeah, Pepper's Ghost Illusion going on, the house in the back. Because the house in the original IE pinball kind of tutorials and stuff,
sure.
I was like, oh, that thing looks pretty like Barbie mansion-ish. And I was like, I don't know what that's going to look like.
Because you can't get the effect
on it.
Dude,
in person, that thing is nuts.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, shout out also fun. Like the difference between the way the back screen worked in Labyrinth versus what this was.
Oh, man.
Oh, you guys are crushing,
It's
dude.
like
It made me
30
so
steps
happy
up.
because that's what I always expected a screen like that to kind of look like and work like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just was like, dude, this thing is super nice.
It's
This is so
innovation on
cool.
another level. It really
Yeah,
is.
shout
Because
out. Yeah, way
the
to go, you
immersion
guys.
there, the theme immersion, while you're not even playing the game, is already there.
Yeah.
The we were talking about also the powder coat, having it look like kind of a patinaed copper.
Yeah.
Really meshes well with the environment of the game.
Yeah.
I'm so sad we didn't get to play it though, because just the layout alone, when you see it in person and your pinhead brain starts doing the math for where the ball's going to go off of certain shots, I was like, man, this thing looks endless.
And that you do the rotisserie up top. You were saying,
the turntable.
Man, that turntable.
The turntable looks amazing. It really does also bring out the fact that this is the theme they chose. And they represent it so well, because this whole idea of getting lost in the Winchester Mystery House, where there are seemingly infinite amount of twists and turns and hallways to go down. And in this game, it feels like you could play it for probably the first 3 months and not have a solid understanding of exactly your ball paths.
Right.
Which normally also I might find even a little annoying. But in this, because of the theme, it integrates
meant,
so well.
Because she had lost her mind, dude. She was making staircases to nowhere.
She went fucking nuts. She was as nuts as a pinball manufacturer putting just one coin slot on the front of their production game. You'd have to. She built that many rooms. They only built the one coin slot. That's how fucking nuts they are.
This whole thing could have been alleviated with one extra coin slot.
And you look over at the Theater of Magic, which sure, it had a stuck ball, but it had two coin slots. I could put the money in.
I have put plenty of coins. Yeah. Oh, that's so rad. But man, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Just like kind of looking at the playfield, because in surfing, one of my favorite things to do is you mind surf. So it's like you look at waves, and then you just like whap, like like what you're gonna be hitting like on that lineup. While we were standing there, I was just like mind playing it a little bit, and like, oh, how cool is like this combo to that combo, and what's looking like it's available even without playing it.
That's what I was saying. You're like, your brain starts to figure out, like, looking where the flippers are and looking at what's adjacent to the flippers.
Because was it 3 full-size flips, right?
3 full-size flippers,
and then there's
and
that
the one
little
mini
micro,
flipper. Yeah, for that back inside the mansion area.
Oh, dude, and there's like this weird little drop. Yeah, so it looks so cool. But then I was just really looking at it. It reminded me like of like Haunted House. Do you remember Haunted House?
Oh, absolutely.
The old Gottlieb.
Yeah,
like, oh man, that game is so cool with all the inside house, and it's like flashlight tour like that. So when we pulled up, I'm all excited. I'm like taking photos of the Winchester Mystery Zone, and just like I was like, they have flashlight tours, right? So it's just, and I love just flashlights in general, I guess.
Sure.
Not flashlights. Sorry, I'm slurring a little bit. Flashlights. Because it, like, when I'm working or like working on an automobile or anything, when you use a flashlight, it automatically adds blinders, so you don't focus on anything else. So it allows you to bring out these really cool details.
Yeah.
And hyper focus on like something specific. So like the idea of doing a flashlight tour through a place like the Winchester Mystery House just seems so cool, because then you're very much focusing on just these moments of like insane craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Because the craftsmanship that went into that place is impeccable. Like, and that's what I am seeing this now coming up through the world of pinball. Like we're seeing craftsmanship that like to where it should be. Like people taking pride and putting it into this art form. Using pinball as a canvas. It's like, that's the coolest thing ever. So I think it's really fun that this is the first, like, for me, California, I guess Earthquake could be kind of like considered an outlet.
Sure, sure, you can.
It was, and Baywatch wasn't, right? Baywatch is like East Coast.
Baywatch is East Coast, I believe.
It seems East Coast-ish. I don't know, it has Kelly Slater in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm like, dude, California theme, California deal, like craftsmanship out the wazoo. Like, this just checked all of my boxes. I didn't even get to play it yet, so.
That's the thing, man.
Edgelords, dude. We're just edgelords.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a bit edged out after all this.
So edged out?
Yeah.
But luckily, you have some beautiful games here, dude. I had, playing Dr. No again and Shadow, like.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna get tired of Shadow.
Yeah.
So I was just looking it up real quick. Baywatch is actually set in Los Angeles, but
all right,
so
here we go.
There.
So now we're bringing some California back into the pinball.
But yeah, this really is kind of in my hopefulness is that this is the big kickoff for California starting to bring the heat in terms of, gaming and gaming licenses and the stuff that we bring to the table. I mean, it literally has nothing to do with us, but the fact that Carl D'Angelo is the one who made the game, it's just like, okay. And it's such a California, the whole thing is drenched in Cali love.
Yeah, golf clap, dude. Let's get a Pebble Beach. Let's get a Pebble Beach, like no good gophers.
Sure. I guess that's another one that technically could be considered.
You heard it here first, folks.
But yeah, that's our tale anyways. Our tale of woe, our tale of happiness, and our tale of absolute crestfallen surprise. I will say that we're definitely heading back. Like we're gonna be.
Dude, I'm almost more pumped to go back now and like just be about it in that way, because it's just like, dude, pinball's fun. Pinball's an adventure. And it's like you can take it from underneath the world of glass and expand it into your own world and start exploring your world and be like, who? And then you find the people at the pinball spots and you already have this like direct connect to this other human being who's like down with pinball.
I think
so. It just creates this community around it. And it's just like, dude, those who go out and like adventure like that, you're the true seekers, dude. You're like the hallowed seekers.
100%. I think we forget about that sometimes. I know I do. Having the convenience of having pinball in your home, or even just, as a part of your life on a regular basis. You forget about what it was like before you had that stuff and being like, okay, the new game is out and it's here.
Yeah.
And so
Adventure
I need to get wherever it is. And doing that with friends is always going to be better. The adventure was as fun as playing the game would have been. And so for that, it's not like the day was a wash.
Yeah, love
right?
you, bud.
It was great. It was fantastic. But I do wish that we could report back on how awesome the gameplay was and stuff like that. Again, the other thing too is I'm actually really happy that Winchester is putting this one on location.
Cool, right?
Just because, I mean, we've been talking about this, and I know I've been going on tirades about it on my channel and stuff. But the one of the problems I have with these boutique manufacturers with how well they're doing, I have nothing to say about the games themselves. The games they're making are topping what the industry leaders have been doing for a long time. But the limited availability means that, like I would say especially true of the boutique manufacturers, if 70% of Stearns are going into the home, I would argue probably 99% of boutique manufacturers are going into the home. And so not only do you have an incredibly limited window to attempt to purchase one of these machines, whether it's Winchester Mystery House or Beetlejuice or Evil Dead or even Dune, right? They're about to stop making Dune.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. We're like trying to get a Dune into our hands.
Yeah, it's like so you have a very limited window or just even availability for even playing one of these games, let alone buying it. Yeah. And so the fact that there is one out in the wild is a huge boon for the pinball community.
Yeah.
And certainly will get people to make the venture. Yeah. I will say this. Here's what I've learned, though. Before we go next time, I'm calling them the day before or the day of.
That machine jammed.
And being like, hey, can you check and make sure that the game is playing? Because I'm about to drive here from Santa Cruz.
We're going to put a reserved sign on that shit, dog.
Right. Don't let anybody touch it. Although we were talking about that, too. The other thing is, since, like, with all the hullabaloo we went through just to get quarters to play, the game is beautiful because no one's played it.
Yeah, like, no one's played it because it's jammed.
Well, there's that, and that nobody has quarters. Like I think half the kids that step up to it don't know what a quarter looks like. They've never held one in their hands in their lifetime. Fun. They're probably more likely to recognize an iPhone than George Washington on the quarter. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So there is that. I am curious to see how well the router is gonna. The guy running the route's gonna keep him up. His theater of magic was it looked fully functioning, but it was definitely loved.
It needed a little,
really well loved.
But just along that point of like some games like not necessarily being available, this brings me back to like early mid 2000s, right?
Yep.
I come from electronic music, techno, dubstep, all this. Some of my like early UK producers that I always loved were like Scream and Banga, remember? And so like watching some early documentaries of those boys, they're like, dude, we can't buy the records that we want. We hear them, but we can't find them. We can't get them. We can't play them.
Sure.
So we're going to make our own.
Yeah.
And it kind of like when you you want to like interact with this kind of a thing and you're like, oh, I can't reach it.
Yeah.
It just like fires people up. You're like, dude, go out and make one then. You know, it's like there's only 500 Winchester Mystery Houses. You want to play one? go ahead and make your, like, I don't know, what would it be? Karchner Caverns.
Right. Your dream pin.
Yeah, dude, that's a 6-5.
Based
on
some ancient real estate.
A living cave, Karchner Caverns in
Yeah.
Arizona. But dude, like, there's so much cool stuff in your world, you know, not just our world. Like California, we're blessed with like Big Sur, like right around the corner. We have some insane stuff. Obviously, come visit Santa Cruz. Just make sure you leave afterwards, and then
make sure you get the hell out.
But you know, wherever world you're living in as a person, like, I'm sure your world's beautiful too, you know, and just like, it'd be say, dude, mall rats. You can make a mall rats game.
Yep.
You know, it's like anything you want to highlight and do, like make a sick theme about, and then you use the pinball to interface with this cool like little diorama that you've created. Like, dude, let's go. Let's do it. I want to see more.
I'm with you on that. And you know, we've been talking about a lot of it, but we definitely want to be focusing on a lot more of the homebrew community in the coming year. So hopefully folks will have some really cool stuff to talk about with that coming up pretty soon. But it really is. It's never been easier with the fast system.
And Marco's doing homebrew kits.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Emoto, like highlighting that. Like,
the engineers behind Fast did an amazing job, and the fact that it's all just, you know, everything's on board Python. Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to teach yourself how to do that. So definitely something to be said about that too. You're absolutely right. But folks, hopefully I'm really looking forward to bringing you a better story next time.
Hey, we just made this into a two-part episode.
It's part 1, and then there'll be part 2 where we actually
cliffhanger.
Succeed. Yep, 100%. Right now, we're still lost in the mansion.
Yeah, we're still lost. I know. Did we ever leave?
It definitely has that feel to it.
Yes.
But again, between now and then, hopefully we'll get our hands on maybe a Pokemon here. I'm going to keep my eye on the boardwalk and see when their list gets updated, because I want to go play that.
Absolutely. I'm going to look out for that Human Centipede game. Yeah, that sounds sick.
That would be great. That would be really, really great. If anybody out there has played Winchester Mystery House and wants to share their experiences for me to read live on the podcast, once again, our email, as always, is insearchofhighscores@gmail.com. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Midlife Arcade, or at the Pinball Underground, which is, basically just the part of the channel where I play pinball. Dean, where can they find you?
Yeah, Instagram, right? Instagram's always the way I kind of communicate with the world. What is it? 9 3/4 with the number 3 portal. 9 3/4 portal.
Sounds good.
Yeah, hit me up.
And until next time, this is Lawrence Adams and Dean Robley coming to you from the Midlife Arcade in Santa Cruz, California, saying, may all your scores be high and may all your balls be extra. We'll see you next time.